Hey, hello, everybody. My name is Don Jacks from North Orange County, California with Impact Properties. I'm here with my longtime friend, Jesse
Jesse
Salas.
Salas. Jesse
That's it.
Salas covering San Diego County with Harcourt's Prime Properties. How you doing, Don?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. I'm glad we're finally doing this.
Yeah, this is going to be fun.
We're doing this. Yes. Okay. So let's set the stage though, so everybody understands whether they want to watch this or not. Jesse and I have worked together for a long time and recently realized that our counties, although are significantly different in a lot of things we're going to talk about, our real estate numbers were coming up the same. And being an hour and a half, 2 hours away, depending on traffic, we decided to walk through some statistics of the market today, right? We're June 2nd as of this recording. We just got May stats. We're in the middle of a shift, right? With interest rates skyrocketing the last couple of months. They have come down in the last day or two, which is nice. Not back to the threes, but in the low fives. With inventory starting to creep up, with people being unsure about what in the world's going on, we wanted to break it down and just share some data, right, Jess?
Not to mention the time of the year, right? Going into the summer, graduation, kids getting out of school. I mean, there's a lot going on. And for those of you that like to geek out on numbers, you're going to love this. And for those of you that don't, I think you're still going to find it interesting because we did. And that's why we're doing this video.
Absolutely. And guys, we're going to go over some charts and graphs, and please bear with us. It might be a little wonky. I'm going to share a screen. I'm going to pull my screen off. Jesse's going to share a screen. We're gonna do the best we can, so bear with us. Now, to kick things off, so we all understand what we're comparing, we're gonna compare, and Jesse and I just realized something. We're gonna compare the size of Orange County to San Diego. How big is San Diego County, Jesse?
So square miles were 4,261 square miles.
Square mile, 4,000 plus square miles. Orange County, and we're just looking at the map that we're going to show you guys. Orange County is 948 square miles. So what is that? A quarter of the size.
I mean, we almost thought that was wrong. We had to double check it. You had to search it. I had to search it. It just didn't seem right.
I've been doing this a long time in both our respective counties, Jess. We had no idea the substantial difference. Look at that.
I think that tells you why. I mean, look, I know Orange County, went to school in Orange County, lived there for many years, obviously now a native of San Diego. I assumed that both of us were coastal communities and were similar in size, but this map tells you something completely different.
Something completely different. So the numbers that come along with this conversation are that much more interesting because LA and San Diego are approximately the same size. We have our little county squished in between the two here. that are putting up some big numbers with a quarter of the size. So that's real interesting.
Yeah.
Population of Orange County is approximately 3.17 million people in Orange County. How about San Diego County?
We're 3.32 million. So we're right there, which, you know, after looking at the last map and look at the numbers of square miles, the size versus the population, similar. But I can explain that. If you know San Diego, yes, we're a coastal community, but we also have a vast desert. I do a lot of hiking out there. It is huge. And so there's a lot of very rural places throughout San Diego County, very rural.
And to get super rural, we have a little bit up here in Placentia, Yorba Linda, Anaheim Hills, but to get real rural, we've got to get down the 91 freeway into Riverside and San Bernardino County to have a shot at anything like that. So that is a big difference in our sizing. But here's another similarity, and we'll get into the stats. Approximate number of homes in Orange County. This is going to be condos, townhouses, and single families. About 1,138,996, or 1.140, 1,140,000 homes here in Orange County.
Yeah, San Diego County, 1.216. So again, very, very similar.
Very similar. Again, for 25% of the square mileage. I mean, those numbers are eerily specific. Now, that's all Googleable. You can find that. That's how we got all that data. What we want to show you now are the stats of what's happening inside the MLSs in both selective counties and do a little comparison. So you, the consumer, can see what's going on in your neighboring county, whether you're in San Diego looking up here or vice versa. So
Now for the good stuff, right?
yeah, let's go. Jess, why don't you dive in there on the San Diego side first?
Yeah, so the first stat that we're going to look at, and I'm going to share my screen here, is the number of showings per listing. Now, just to make sure that the audience understands, the criteria we're choosing is going to be county to county, and it's going to be all townhomes, homes, condos, all that good stuff, right? So we're really comparing apples to apples. So I think what's really interesting on this chart here is looking at May, the month we just ended, and if you've watched the news recently, you've probably seen a lot of data showing, or at least articles showing, that the real estate market has slowed down considerably. We can see here for San Diego County in May of 2022, you had about 4.7 showings per listing, which is very interesting when we look at its peak, which was just earlier this year, January of 2022, at almost 12 showings per listings. And I love, Don, that the data here is showing this, because I know myself and the agents in my office have been feeling this at least for the past 2 months. It's just now good to see what we've been feeling is actually showing up here as far as statistics.
Yeah, it's taking less showings right now to get the house sold, which is nice. What was your peak there?
My peak was 11.8 and down to 4.7. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen and let you go ahead and pop yours up, because I'm curious to see what you have.
Yeah, we're going to have the very similar numbers here. I mean, we have gone to 4.4. And guys, again, the difference in counties, it's amazing how we're down to 4. Our recent peak, your peak of the last couple of years, and guys, this is a 3-year chart. This is Orange County, of course. Again, Jess has San Diego County, but we had another peak last April where we got up to 11.1, closer to your peak, but that was last year. A little different. We came down a bit, came back up, and it keeps falling, which is good, which also means hopefully the buyers are seeing less properties, less massive multiple offers to get their offer accepted. Things are happening that much quicker for those that are still in the market, because as we're going to see, some of the competition is gone.
Yeah, and real quick, I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm looking here at my April of 2021, and we were very close to the same peak. So that was the next, strongest period of time. Let's see here. Okay, there we go. You disappeared there for a second. Alrighty, so you can see here, I had to change mine from the 3-year span to a 5-year. That's now we're a little bit more consistent here. So 11.8, January 2022. Here's that April 2021 that you just brought up, 11.6, right? Okay. But you know what? And I don't know, maybe this is just me. April made sense to have that many showings. Like you see 11.6, heck, I'm surprised actually that wasn't 50, right? January 2022, although we started the year strong, I don't know if I would say that April of 2021 felt like January of 2022.
That's a great point. Yeah, that's a great point.
Stats show otherwise.
You know, that's why numbers don't lie unless we're lying about the numbers, right? That's why we always have to turn back to the stats to find out what's really happening in the market.
Yeah. Exactly. All right, let's move on to another category. We got a lot of fun categories at the bottom. Anyone that's calling you, saying, let's go look at.
Let's see from your point of view, and we talked about this here. Let's jump right into it. Let's go up to top left. Yeah, you know it, top left, right there. Yep.
New listings.
Nah, I was going to go sales price.
Let's go.
Yeah, I was going to do it right off the bat. Let's jump in there because it's interesting, and I know we're supposed to show yes, the market's fall. Prices aren't moving.
Yeah.
Prices aren't moving. This is the average price for the last 5 years in San Diego County. And the latest data is May is the highest point of that chart.
862,500. We just talked about the average showings per listings, and what I've been telling all of the agents in our office here is, this same time last year, within the first 3 days, we'd have 100 people through and 10 offers. This year, that same house is going to have maybe 10 people through in the first 3 days, one, maybe 2 offers, but the price is still going to be higher this year than it was last year.
That's right.
Crazy.
That's right.
I'm going to zoom into this. Just we'll go back to the 3 years. Actually, let me see what does 1 year look like. So this is a 1 year span, right? Just so we can kind of dive in a little bit deeper. You can see that we've consistently, maybe there's been small little changes that have gone down, but progressively everything has gone up from 853 in April, 853,500 to 862, 500. It's still doing really strong and consistent as far as the percentage, just based on what I'm looking at, it's going up as well.
It sure is. That's great. That's
all right.
great.
So 862, 500, that's for me, right? Now I'm under median sales price.
Check your average real quick.
Yeah, I just realized that. So the average, I think it's gonna be a little bit higher. Yeah, okay. 1,121,653.
There's our average. Okay.
And from the end of last year, from 932 to 1.121.
Woo!
A little scary.
111. I don't even want to do the math. That's a great increase, man. That is unbelievable.
If this, and I'm not sure, over here to the far right, you can see it's showing a 17.4 increase. I'm just not sure when that's from, but nonetheless, we're talking 17.4.
I believe, take that back down to the 1 year real quick, Jess. I think it'll hold.
I don't think it changed. It did hold.
It did. Yeah, that's a 1 year increase.
It is. There we go. 17.4. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. I want to see what your average sales.
Got it. No, this is good. This is. Can you imagine once we figure out how to work the technology we actually use? Okay, so this again is back to Orange County. 5 years out, average sales price as of May 1.29.
You beat me.
Orange County has eclipsed the San Diego just barely, I believe. Just barely. And we've seen some ups and downs, right, over the last year, and that's how markets go month to month, seasonality. But overall, we can see that growth. And if we come in here to the 1 year, we can really see we were at 1181 and have jumped to 1229 already in the last 5 months, while interest rates have rose, while a little more inventory, and I'm giving a little away, seems to be coming on the market. There's this supply and demand thing that is still occurring, that at this chart, and we'll look at others that may say differently, are trumping the interest rate issue at the time. Yeah. There's still not enough supply for the demand of the buyers that we have out there. What's interesting is when we go back and let's pull up a 3 year here, April to May, we had an increase. Just to remind everybody, April to May, increase. Wait, let's look at the one. Oh, there's a decrease. What was that? What was going on in April 2020?
April 2020.
COVID had just struck.
Yep.
So our price went down a little bit, right, when that happened, because everything went on hold, and we've been coming pretty much straight up ever since. That
is very similar. I don't need to share the screen, but I can tell you as I'm looking at mine, that's similar to mine. It wasn't April of 2020, but it was May of 2020. However, we started to see the first decrease. So both our April and May both went down from the previous March, right? So March up here, April here, May here, and then it went right back up. And quite frankly, it surpassed everything that we'd seen.
Yeah.
That's when it really started to jump for us.
That's exactly it. That's good. Now, what's interesting, what takes me to the next button from, we've talked about price and we talked about showings per listing, is days on the market, because this is something that seemingly should be going up if there's more and more inventory coming on the market. Buyers have choices, interest rates are going up. Some buyers are backing out of deals, backing out of the market, therefore giving more inventory to catch up and stay on the market a little longer. And currently our average days on market have increased from our low. Our low was 14. We're now up to 16 days on the market.
Wow. 16 days on the market.
So the headline says the market is changing. Things are staying on the market drastically longer. Drastically is a word I would definitely test and push back on. Right,
Yes,
under
right?
the circumstances. Yes, it's changing. Yes, it's ticking up. It's 2 days more. I would be real anxious to see what the days on market in San Diego are.
Okay, let's see. What do we
Because
got?
the idea of the sky is falling because we're going from 2 to 5 days to get your house sold is silly. That's not
Yep.
a change. That's a breather. That's a normalization, and I'm very thankful for it, actually.
It is. I think it's a sigh of relief for most of us out there, whether you're listing homes or you're a buyer's agent or you're the buyer themselves. And let's be honest, even the sellers who are benefiting from it, it has been a whirlwind for them as well. It's sometimes overwhelming. Good problem to have, I guess, when you're on that side of the table. But let's see here. Days on market for us, the average days on market. I believe you were on average, correct?
Average 18. Yes, sir.
Comparing those apples to apples, 18 days, and you were at 16.
Yeah, we rose from 14 to 16. That's right.
Okay. So this is, this is interesting, right? So a little bit different. And from what I've heard from you and other friends up in Orange County, I feel like your homes have been moving faster. And so when we started slowing down a little bit, you guys were still moving at a very high level. That's right. You just took a little bit longer to catch up to us or catch down to us.
Right. But you guys have actually ticked down. You ticked up there in September, October, and have come back down.
And we were, you see how we were flat, like you said, all the way till about January and arguably even February. And then that's when we really started feeling it, right? There was even talks of expired listings. Can those be a thing again? Right? You remember those?
I heard FSBO today and offers in on FSBOs that they're thinking about. This hasn't been happening. It's starting to bubble up. It's very interesting, but more than a crash, a normalization of the market seems like it, but this isn't even normal. That's still bananas to know we're doing everything in under 20 days.
Yeah.
On average.
That's crazy.
That's amazing.
I mean, you look back to 19 over here at the far left and you're at 44 days.
Yeah.
Right. And then that we can both say that that's a normal market for us. Right.
Totally. And quite frankly, so everybody knows, a balanced market by definition is 6 months of inventory.
Yep.
We haven't been at 6 months of inventory. I mean, go, let's jump down to months of inventory.
I know ours are a little bit different. I'm noticing. Is it the I think it's MOINV actual. Yeah, I noticed that when you were on the last slide.
There we go. Month supply of inventory.
Right. This is the same. We're just a little bit different abbreviation. So for May of 2020 or 2022, excuse me, one month. And so, I don't know if it's really even 1 month, to be honest with you. It doesn't feel like it. Doesn't feel like it, especially back here.
Going back 3 years, it's crazy to see how balanced of a market you really were just 3 years ago. Closer to that 5 month supply of homes.
Let's have some fun and go to 5. Actually, let's see what 10 years looks like.
Nice.
I mean, that's interesting. And you know, I also think this is interesting. I shared this with you. I think this was a couple months ago. I was doing some research for The Office and I pulled up a Tom Ferry video of 2016. And I don't remember what the video was about, but he started the video off saying that inventory is so low right now. And, you know, in other words, agents, stop complaining about it. You know, that whole thing that Tom does so great. But I'm thinking 2016, it was low. And here we are today. Wow. You know, we didn't know how good we had it back then.
We had 4 months of supply in your area in 2016. Yes. And now it's 1. And so everybody understands month supply of homes as if no other homes come on the market. 0. Yeah. We stopped taking listings now. How long would it take to sell the existing supply of homes? That's what we're looking at now. That's down to 1 month.
Absorption rate.
Incredible. Absolutely.
Love it. All right. I'm going to unshare. I'm curious to see yours.
Okay, let's do this. And we will go to, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoa,
So
okay.
we have,
Whoa.
yeah, watch out. So
Wow.
Orange County, this is where it gets very interesting. Orange County is absolutely adding inventory, right? We have almost
Yeah.
2 months of supply and we haven't been here since, yeah, November of 2020. Anywhere close to above here, which is real interesting. We haven't been, I don't think I have it. There we go.
Yeah, that's about
Let's
right.
take me back to '08. Okay, it's a new button for me. Thank you very much.
Mhm.
You can see where we haven't been
Look at that. Wow. The amount of
since.
inventory you had back in '08, I think that is insane.
That is absolutely. Well,
Ah,
this was all
yes.
kinds of good stuff going on back in '08.
Yes. What happened back then?
The world went on sale in 2008, Jesse. That's exactly what happened. But you can see
Wow.
this all for historians, at least. We know 9, 10, things started getting gobbled up. And here's where our market actually started improving and coming back, right? Where
This,
our inventory got below 8 months, actually. And then once it dropped below 6 months in 2011, our prices really started chugging up.
your trends are so interesting when you see the graphs. Look at how they all shoot up and then they kind of softly go down. I mean, and it seems like it's been that way every year. If you saw my map, it wasn't anything like that. It just shows that your county is very consistent
It is. And
as
if
far
you
as
go
its
through,
peaks. And
it's the
Mhm.
end of the year, it's the beginning of the year,
Exactly,
middle of the year, end of the year. Yeah, it's very interesting. We're
exactly.
very
I
sticky.
like seeing that. I like seeing the trends,
Yeah,
consistency, right? Mm,
yeah. We here, except this downward pressure, right?
yeah,
These all changed this year. We went down and then we never came back up. And
yeah,
now we're starting to come back up. So this, we're actually talking about the trend that started breaking a bit here, I guess, but it really broke here.
yeah.
And now we're at 1.8 months supply, which means we still don't have enough inventory for the demand of housing right now, even at the current prices.
Do me a favor, real quick. Where were you in July of 2019? How many months?
July 2019, 3.5, 3.8.
Okay, and then where did you go to? So you were at 3.8. Where did you get to in December of 2019?
19,
Also 19. So just,
2.1.
yeah. Okay. So we were at 4.7 and we went to 1.8. I mean, you really started to see a big drop there.
Wow. Wow. And that was right before the announcement of COVID.
Which
And
we were already feeling inventory. I mean, that was obviously
yeah,
insult to injury, right? When everything happened.
100%. Yeah. And you can just
Yeah.
see we continue to flatten out and it's finally starting to come up. But even in that spot, we can go back to December 2020. I mean, we are just barely above the inventory we had going into
Yeah.
COVID. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very interesting.
Weird.
Okay, moving. Let's hit 3 more. I'd like to look at pendings, active, and new listings,
Okay.
and closed sales. But I want to let's go into closed sales. Let's go number of closings, and I'm going to make this way less scary. There we go. This is a 3-year view of number of closed sales. And actually, I want to bring that in the last year. We started seeing, and maybe I should have done this, guys. Let me back up to the pending sales. This is something we really need to spend a few minutes on, Jess, because the pending sales now obviously leads to closed sales next month. Our pending sales, we have seen some since March drop from a recent high of 2008 sales in Orange County to 1650 in April. In May, we saw 924 homes go under contract.
Almost half. That is half.
Yeah, it is half.
Worse. Yeah.
And a half. Yes, exactly.
Wow.
So interest rates, pressure of the inventory, the uncertainty, fear of interest rates, Russia, $6 gas, 5% interest rates, everything that's going on right now is equating to less homes are being sold today.
This is an interesting one. This is an interesting one.
So compared to 1980 to 1614 sales, we're down there. I'm curious to see what happens to our sales or closings next month because of these pending.
Yeah, I mean, June's numbers, 30 some days away, it's going to be
Super
interesting.
interesting. Show us yours on there.
So I'm going to share the pendings, right? We'll go straight to the pendings. I'm also zoomed in on 1 year, which I think is where you were. Forgive me if I wasn't.
Exactly.
Your March of 2022 was what, 2008? We're at 3,410.
Wow. Okay.
Right now, I haven't gone over to that May number to highlight yet, but just based on the way your graph shot down, dropped so aggressively, I don't think we're anywhere there. And no, we're not. Our pending sales for May of 2022 are 2,981. And if I'm reminding the audience correctly, the Orange County numbers for that same month was 924 pending sales.
924 pending sales, same time frame. Yes, sir.
So your June numbers are going to be, I would think, drastically different than my June numbers based on this. When it comes to sold listings,
the number of homes sold, right? Our prices are still up. Everything else is still the same, but the number of homes being sold is significantly down and significantly different than yours, which is very interesting. There's a decoupling of our stats at that point and that could change next month, right? That's why we look at these month after month.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I don't know what that tells you other than the uncertainty is hitting the Orange County folks a lot more than the San Diego folks are right now. It's not causing them not to buy homes, put on the brakes, change their plans. It looks as if it's causing some Orange County folks to have second thoughts.
Well, it sounds like, based on what we've been talking about, that you guys have been more aggressive, both on the positive and the negative, right? So a few months back, when you guys were still, fielding a ton of offers and a ton of interest, and we felt things slowing down, and all of a sudden, at some point, you leapfrogged us. And based on the numbers that I'm seeing, you should be feeling much slower than we're feeling down here.
Yes, that's what it seems like. Thankfully here at Impact, we're busier than ever. We're feeling a little bit, but not as significant as the numbers show.
Yeah. Sold listings for us closed, right? For May, 2,836.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Right. This would be the same one. I think this would be similar to yours, because I know ours are titled a little bit differently on the bottom.
Yes.
Unless you're seeing something I'm not. But I believe this would be it.
Nope, that's the one. That's correct.
Our April 2022 are 3,140. Right. Our March was 3,235. Let's just go down to the obvious drop here, which was January of 2022. And that kind of makes sense, though, with the holidays, right? Preceding that, we had less properties probably pending, of course, and then a lower sales, 2,270. But we've consistently gone up until April.
Interesting.
And now we're starting to see those come down. So I'm very curious to see, even though we have more pending sales than you, I would think that we're going to continue to see that downward trend for June of 2022 in San Diego. I just don't know if it's going to be something this small or something this large.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know either. I'm out of the prediction game. However, as we can see with the trends of the market, they don't go like this very often. The trends continue until they are rounding out. So it'll be real interesting to see what happens. Before we get out of here, and I know we're almost close to wrapping up, can you go to active and new listings? And do
which one, active or new listings?
Start with new listings.
Yeah,
I know what mine looks like. Okay, isn't that interesting? That's what mine looks like.
I imagine it does, right? December, we should, as we come out of the holiday, we should start seeing it going up. But I would also think that I would think in April or May we would continue to see that upward trend.
Yes. What we're seeing are the new listings tailing off a little bit, which is good. That means there's not too many coming up, but our inventory, go back to active listings, please. Watch this, flip over to active.
Let me go back to that 1 year though, hold on.
Interesting. There we go.
Yeah.
New listing inventory is continuing to increase, or active listings, but new listing inventory is starting to decrease for you.
Yeah,
which
let me bounce
might-
back and forth between both of those. So this is new listings,
brand new listings on the market have come down, not too much, but a little bit.
but they have. And then
Yep.
here we go, switch over to active listings for San Diego County,
Gone up.
continuing to go up.
New
Yeah.
listings aren't coming up as much as we need to get more inventory. Existing inventory is staying on the market longer, coming back on the market from escrows falling out.
And are you seeing a lot of that? I don't mean to cut you off, but we're seeing a lot of fallout.
Unfortunately, we are seeing them get right back in with offer
Sure.
number 2 or 3, because we do still have offers, but I am seeing the readjustments. People are being pickier, right? We're removing, buyers were removing loan contingency and home inspection contingency and appraisal contingency no longer. Is that happening like it was? And things are starting to fall out because of the inspection, because of the adjustment in the financing. So we are starting to see more of it.
The other day, as you put your slide up here or your page, I was walking down doing some jogging in an area that I'm always jogging around. I counted 6 different brokerages open house signs on one corner.
Yes.
I haven't seen more than 2. I'm lucky, maybe once I saw 2 over the past 24 months. To see 6 was insane. And somebody asked me, well, gee, inventory's coming back. Yes and no, like you just mentioned. Homes are coming on the market as they should this time of year, but it's also the carryover from the week before. The homes that normally are snatched up in the first 3 days are not being snatched up. So you're starting to see that fall over to the next month or the next week and so forth.
Little longer to put under contract. And wrapping this up, Jess, look at this from December of 1,500 active listings. From December, we're now at 2,978 active listings. We have doubled our inventory in the last 5 months in Orange County. But once again, just like yours, the new listings are falling off, which means it's the existing inventory, which also means all those buyers are, we could offer on that one, but are we going to offer that price on that one? So it's going to be interesting. Right now, we're not seeing the downward pressure on things, but we may soon. And that brings me one last thought. And I was looking at this, see if I can find it before we get back on here. Percentage of original list price. Yes, look at this. And we didn't talk about this. And let me go to the average, not the median. The average price is still, it's down. It's down. Prices are down. Right? That's the headline we're seeing. I hope we're just dispelling that myth. Prices are down from 106.1 of asking price to 104% of asking price.
Yeah.
Which means we list here, we're still selling over asking price on average. Bring us home with yours, Jess. See what we got.
So let me share that with you. And I don't think you're going to be surprised. March 2022. We're at 106.3. That's April 106.7. And then we're 0.8 higher than you at 104.8% in May of 22. And that's the percentage, right? The average percentage. So the graphs don't lie. The numbers don't lie. All the data we're getting is from our MLS, respectively. We've been waiting for May's statistics so we can share with you what we've been feeling. And I'll tell you what I'm taking away from this, and I'll let you finish it, is that as real estate agents, because that's what we are, we really have to make sure that we're getting buyers through that property. I'm going to say it's time for us to get to work, because for the past 24 months, a lot of these homes were selling themselves. We're not seeing that anymore. It's time for everything that we've learned, our marketing, our strategies, everything that we've compiled as real estate agents to come into play, because some of these beautiful homes are going to need that push for buyers to come out and see, opportunities that they may be missing out on.
Absolutely. 2 things that we hear a lot, Jess, in our world: the flight to quality agents is real, and it's a skills-based market once again. And man, here we are, the agents with the skills, the agents that are delivering high quality information, education, and service are the ones winning in today's business. The big takeaway for me, not only is the similarities and the differences, Real estate's still moving. The
Yeah.
interest rates are the interest rates. The market is the market. Now you know the market. The question is for all of us, what are our plans? What are you going to do? What are your needs, wants, desires? Is it time to move? Do you need elbow room? Is it time to move for the job or not? The market doesn't dictate your move. You dictate your move. That's what's really important here.
People are still having babies. People are still growing. I mean, it's going to happen. But this was fun. I appreciate you doing this with me and really being able to see what our neighbors north of us have going on and vice versa.
Absolutely. It's great. We've been talking about, I'm glad we pulled it off. We might just do this again next time. Let us know how you find the information. Of course, call us with any questions. More importantly, stay educated. There's a lot of misinformation out there. Headline reading is dangerous in a market like this. Go deep and really read the article, really listen to what's going on. And at the end of the day, if you need any help, we're here for you. Thanks for your attention. Jess, I will talk to you real soon. Thanks a lot.
Have a good one. Thanks.